this is a fun show. This is a big card. It's going to be an awesome night. And I have the duty of watching this entire card go down. And then when it's my turn, I got to take it up one more notch and prove that I'm the main event star that I say I am. And you bet your ass I'm going to do it.
So he was the heart and the soul of WWE for so many years. And now he's very much still in the news, whether it's in New Japan, in Impact Wrestling, and so many other places. And soon you can catch Nic Nemeth in Euphoria in Puerto Rico. It's my pleasure to chat with the one, the only. Can I still call you the show off? Or are you going by another name?
I'll have to check my contract to see if they own it or not. But yeah, I mean, you are free to say anything you'd like.
Amazing. Tell us about that match in Puerto Rico, man, and what does this mean to you?
Here's what's really cool to me. Primo and Carlito I've known for a really long time. When we do those overseas bus tours or whatever, we'd be sitting right near each other, just having a good time, telling old stories. And much more importantly to me, I respect them very much in the ring. So people used to ask me all the time, who's my favorite? I used to say Naomi all the time, but man, Primo is so good at wrestling, and a lot of people don't know that because they see certain parts. If you're not in Puerto Rico and you're just watching WWE, you might just be, he's tag team, he's doing a couple of things. He is so good that he's like this secret. I think it's like if it's passed down in your family through the genes and the blood, like you just know that it's very similar to Randy Orton, where you just feel it and they move around and they just do some of the coolest, smoothest, smartest stuff that drives me crazy because I'm working all night on it and going, make sure you do this, figure this out, have this be different. And he just does it because he's so good. So when I got a call from him, and I heard from him a little bit, him, Zack Ryder, and myself, we used to have a good time together. And it was like, I was so happy to hear from him. I can't wait to do this show. I've been thinking about this for months. How do I get back into professional wrestling? Where do I start? What do I do? Get out of that comfort zone, get over to Puerto Rico, fight someone I've never set foot in the ring with before on a huge card, Euphoria. It's going to be like, it's a stacked card. My brother's on it. Cardona is on it. Chris Masters is on it. Primo is involved in some match one way or another. I'm not exactly sure how, but he is calling the shots somewhere down there. And there's so many others on the show. So I'm like, this is a fun show. This is a big card. It's going to be an awesome night. And I have the duty of watching this entire card go down. And then when it's my turn, I got to take it up one more notch and prove that I'm the main event star that I say I am. And you bet your ass I'm going to do it.
Absolutely. I mean, we keep hearing about Puerto Rico being such a great market. I've been friends with Michael for a long time, so he's been always told me what a great market it is. But then when I saw WWE go there and do that pay-per-view and get that ovation, I mean, everyone's mind was blown across the world. Is that something you're looking forward to as well?
It's huge to me because one, I've gone to, in the past, I've been to Puerto Rico with tours with WWE, but doing it on your own is a little bit different. It's more exciting. Like, it's like, hey, this will be taken care of this week. No, I'm making my way. I chose to come do this show. I didn't just find it in an email. I'm like, man, I can't wait to get to the island. I want to visit this, see this, do some sightseeing with my brother, and then go steal the show. So you get this different crowd, this fan base. Right now, wrestling is hot, period. It doesn't matter where you watch it, what you do, what you like. If you like all of them, some of them, one of them, doesn't matter. Wrestling is hot, and that is so cool because I grew up on one or two of them, and if I was down about it or bummed out, there was nothing else to do. I love it so much that at 5 years old, my goal was to be a professional wrestler, so I started amateur wrestling. Like, that's where I started. My dad goes, you want to be a pro? You start here. So I've been this excited for the last 38 years of doing everything, the highs and lows, you name it. I just love being a part of this business that I love it so much. And I just want to do more. And I want to pass on things to everybody else. I want to steal the show and have people follow that. And it just, when you have a different fan base like this, a crowd that I don't get to always see, maybe once every year, maybe every couple years, but you know how much they respect the sport of pro wrestling, how much they love watching it. And if it's good, they're going to let you know. And if it's bad, they're going to let you know too. And that's what makes it go, I can't wait to blow their minds and hopefully hear them cheering and booing and go, this is what a main event is on a stacked card like Euphoria.
Amazing, man. And now that I've got you, I mean, you have such an illustrious career. There are so many points that I would like to personally revisit and speak about with you. I had a chance to speak to Alberto recently, and he told me, I mean, this was the 10th anniversary of your cash in. And I mean, that was such a spectacular moment. He told me initially you and he did not really see eye to eye, and then you developed respect for one another. So, what was that like?
So it wasn't. I think he tells it a little differently. There wasn't any issues. I don't think between us. We just didn't hang out. Like we weren't in the same friend group, and it was just like, hey, we're gonna work tonight. Okay, I'll see you. You know, whatever. There was nothing like. It was we just weren't really close. But this happens all the time. It happened with me and AJ as my manager years ago. Someone that I just waved to in the hallway and walked by. That was it. And then you get this camaraderie, this special bond where you're like, we both want to make this successful, whether it's an opponent of yours, someone on your team, a manager, you name it. And it just becomes, you're both working so hard. You both start to learn the other ins and outs from the other person. And then you're just there for them. And it becomes this beautiful thing. And that is the exact same story with Del Rio. It's like, we weren't close. I didn't really know him. We hadn't been in the ring like at all. And once we got a couple of matches down, you get that because you don't know where everyone stands. If someone's here to just like, yeah, they're going through the motions or they're phoning it in, whatever. But when you realize someone else is trying to outdo everybody else with you, and then this team comes together and you like meld, and it just becomes this beautiful, it's art. It becomes art that you see on this canvas. You're like, whoa, I knew these moves and these positions could happen, but I didn't know they could be that good. It could be that beautiful when it happens. And we just got this chemistry that is, there is few people that I have that good at chemistry with. And we got to a point, we'd had so many matches together and we could just feel things out to where, you know, the old timers go, we just, we never talked, we just, whatever. We got to a point where I was like, hey, you and I tonight in the main event for the world title. I'll see you there, brother. And because he's so good, and because I was getting good at the time, we could feel things out, change something up. Like, hey, normally we do this here, but you hear these guys? Let's go. Let's make it a different thing. I got an idea. Let's take this away right now. Oh, yeah, great. And just add that in with two people who want great psychology, a great match, a world title match. And then you want to outdo each other every night and prove that how good you are. And that intensity that he had, I don't think I could match it. I think now I could, but I was still learning on. But man, when he beat me down and you could just see it in his face, you're like, man, this guy means business. This is serious. And I'd be like, man, I'd be a little bit scared. I'm like, whoa, what the hell's going on? But he was just so good at feeling these emotions, much like an actor in a movie, to where you're like, you forget that you're watching a movie. You're like, whoa, what? It's like that. And you could have that chemistry mixed in with our two different styles. And man, those were some fun matches. The only thing that rivals it is Kofi and maybe Miz a little bit because we had so many matches together, but we could just feel each other out. And it made me feel like I was learning because I got to be out there with someone with a little bit more, he had done it for more experience than me. And then I was like, it made me, I got to catch up to this guy. I want to be better. And like things like that, it drives you to be better. And you just want everything to be great. And you want to go, I want the world to think that I'm the best. Well, you got to prove it. And not just once, you got to do it every damn night.
So as the man who had the greatest cash in ever, and while on the theme of Puerto Rico, what do you think of, Damian Priest carrying the briefcase now and being your successor in a way?
I famously do not watch wrestling. Okay. But I have social media and I see a lot of things that happen. And I'll just say, like, I got a Priest is another one that I didn't really know, didn't really hang out. He was a nice guy, and we got a couple matches in, and you go, oh man, this guy's come a long way. He's done so much. And he showed me pictures of him from a few years ago. It is a full transformation. And then everybody, I seriously, I'm not watching, I don't know what's going on, but everyone in that group are not just good people, they have become this entity, and I'm so proud and so happy for them. When you see good people making good things work, you just get so happy for all of them, especially their leader, R-Truth.
That'll make headlines everywhere. I've been asked to wind up with one last question. I know you cannot answer that. I mean, this is the big question on social media. Nic Nemeth going to AEW? I know you can't answer that, but
I can answer anything I want. I am very focused on New Japan and TNA right now because I have seen a few different people on both of those rosters that I am blown away with. Not doing moves, being awesome at wrestling. And some of them have bigger names, and some of them don't have a name that's really well known all over the world yet. And there's a handful, there's one or two in New Japan, and there's 5 or 6 at TNA that I have been watching very closely. I famously don't watch wrestling, but I have been following and going, this person is one big break away from being the next up and coming thing. How can I help them, but also make the show awesome? And that is, I sit here like, almost like an accountant going over numbers and algorithm stuff. How can I make this a bigger deal? How can I make TNA 1% even better than it already is? Here's how. Here's what I should do. Here's the way to go. And I'm gonna prove it to everybody. I don't mean to be yelling. I'm excited because I've been sitting around for 6 months going, when the hell do I get to start wrestling again? You know? So I feel fantastic. I'm in the best shape of my life. I've done 20 straight years with 3 TVs that I missed. Nobody. That is unparalleled. I'm going to continue this. I might wrestle for 20 more.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And fans in Puerto Rico, you're in for a treat. And I believe you can also catch the event worldwide on Fight TV. So thank you so much.
Straight. At Triller and Fight TV, let the whole world see how good this show is. This card is going to be fantastic. I keep looking at the poster. There's all these faces, all the local talent, people coming in all over the world. I can't wait for this night to be so special. This Saturday, Euphoria WWC.